Hey guys, before we jump into today's podcast, I have a word from today's sponsor, The Farmer's Dog. Traditional, dry, and wet dog food options are extremely processed and can use much lower quality ingredients than they claim to, so that's why we feed Daisy, the farmer's dog. The Farmer's Dog makes and delivers fresh, healthy dog food. It's recommended by vets, nutritionally balanced, and made from human-grade ingredients in safe, clean kitchens. So go get 50% off your first box at thefarmersdog.com/wideopen.
I know what you're talking about. Not like every year, but a handful of times
they
going
come in
through
and
school.
you'd go to like the school gym and they'd test your eyes and they would test. Maybe it was in middle school. I don't know. But yeah, they basically found out he was legally deaf. Actually, there's a pretty funny story to that too. He was always my line mate in hockey. And I'd be like, Sean. Or I'll use a different name here just so we don't exploit him.
Probably okay.
Yeah, you're
I can't imagine that.
He's not listening to any podcast.
He probably doesn't care. So I'm like, Sean, pass the puck. And like he would just be looking down and like do his thing. And everyone, like I was on his line since I was a little kid. We'd always be on the same line for some reason. And everyone thought he was a puck hog. But it turns out we found out in high school that he's just legally deaf and he couldn't hear me yelling.
Did he not know that he had?
Well, he didn't know I was yelling at him.
Yeah, but wasn't he like, I literally can't hear you?
Obviously, it's not like fully deaf, but he just couldn't hear very well, clearly, and it was bad enough where he was legally deaf.
So are you legally deaf?
So that's what made me wonder, when did you find out that you were legally deaf? Because you can only hear in one ear.
Well, I'm not legally. Or what do you mean when you say legally
Ev's illegally
deaf?
Well, I'm sure.
Yeah, I don't know.
I would imagine that you would be legally deaf if you can't hear out of one ear.
No, I was like 12 years old and I got really sick, like vertigo or whatever, like inner ear thing. Kind of just realized I couldn't hear out of it. Went into the doctor and they said I had a virus that messed up my ear. Yeah.
Oh, I thought it was just from like loud noises and maybe a firecracker or something like that. But so it was a sickness.
Like a fluky virus. Like they explained it, a virus that's not contagious, but I don't know how you get it if it's not contagious. It's not something you can like fix with a hearing aid. I don't know how to explain it. I don't even know what it's called. All I know is I just like can't hear out of it.
How fast did it hit?
That's what was kind of weird. I just felt sick, and I don't know how long I couldn't hear out of it before I noticed, because I kind of just felt crummy and your head was kind of stuffy. So I mean, maybe for a couple of days until I really realized that I couldn't hear out of it.
So I noticed that when you listen to music, obviously you only listen to music with one earbud in, but do you hear like vibrations or like bass or anything like that coming from the other one?
I do. I'll run, if I'm listening to music and stuff, I'll run the other one, both ears, and I can kind of tell it's there, but if anything, it's just so smothered and muffled, like you could never make out words.
Oh,
really? But I guess you could kind of maybe pick up the bass or the beat a little bit.
Well, see, that's why you're so easy to sneak up on and scare. Not to be a dick.
Ben just finds a weakness like a deaf guy, and he's the perfect person.
Picking on the handicapped kid.
Actually, I don't think you would be considered legally deaf because I'm pretty sure you'd have to get like hearing aids.
But you can't get hearing aids because like the thing that you would make louder, it
I suppose it would be no point for your case.
How common is that?
I think it's actually pretty common.
Really?
It's pretty crazy. How old were you again?
6th grade, 12 or 13.
So that's kind of a tough age to lose hearing in one ear.
Honestly, I don't think I was sick for like a week because it messed up like my equilibrium. So like I would lay in bed and watch TV and I'd feel fine.
And then
I'd stand up and just be super sick. So like once I got over being sick, I kind of just felt fine, and the ear thing was just whatever.
Then you got your balance back?
I guess.
Apparently.
Really? Yeah, dude, that's a big thing. Like when I was in my really bad post-concussion phase, it was the same thing, except I felt like I was moving at all times, and I truly don't think there's anything worse than that. It's miserable. You can't get away from it. It's like being on a boat. Oh, it's terrible.
Yeah, there's just nothing you can do.
Yeah.
Do you think that's why you're so jumpy? Backstory, Evan is like extremely easy to spook, almost to a point where even when you're not trying to spook him, you do. Like you're just walking up to tell him something and he kind of jolts and goes, whoa. And Ben has found that weakness in him, and now our Snapchat story at least once a week has us spooking Evan when he's working on something.
That was a good one, man. That one I kind of saw you sneaking up. I just flinched. I think it's my cat-like reflexes. Like
You
if
wait
you
for something to happen.
were an attacker instead of a pranker, I'm like ready to go. But then when I see it's Ben, I just stop. So he thinks I flinched, but I'm really ready to attack.
It is actually Ken's birthday today. Not when you're watching this, but on the day of filming. It is Ken's birthday. So everyone wish Ken happy birthday.
He's
Happy
not
birthday,
gonna,
Ken. He doesn't like it.
he's not gonna respond, but you can wish it.
Ken, do you have a problem with your birthday?
It's like just another day sometimes.
I agree with what you're saying, but like when people are just like saying happy birthday to you, and
I
maybe
responded
wanna
to
grab
everyone
dinner.
that said happy birthday today.
Did
No, you didn't. You didn't respond. You couldn't even respond in our group chat when we were trying to figure out where you wanted to go to eat, or even if you wanted to go.
That just took a little bit. But like this morning, Sydney texted me happy birthday at 12:10, and I responded at 12:10. Thank you.
But you didn't say thank you to any of the boys in our boys chat. We said happy birthday.
I said thank you in person.
Even
And I
if
feel
you don't
like
have
saying
their
thank you in
phone
person
number.
is more genuine than
I
saying
suppose,
thank
yeah.
you via text.
Do you have beef with your birthday though?
No, it's just another day.
Do you have beef with people wishing you a happy birthday?
No.
Because we always wonder on your birthday, because you go so radio silent, we wonder if you don't like it and you don't want to like make a big deal about it. Because I love spoiling you for your birthday.
Well, like today, you guys text me happy birthday, and I slept in and laid in bed until like noon. And by the time that rolled around, by the time I got back texting people, it was like, that's like 20 messages ago. I really don't want to reply to this message from 10 a.m.
So to know the thought process.
We thought, what could we get Ken for his birthday that he would appreciate more than anything? And we thought, maybe we should just leave him alone all day. Not invite you to dinner.
Just
not
one nice-
bother you with anything.
Don't even say hi to you if they see you in person.
We were like, we'll go out to dinner and we'll celebrate Ken's birthday without him. He would appreciate that more than anything.
It's a great way to honor you still.
It was beautiful. It was nice today.
Ken, we do have a little history of throwing you the most legendary birthday parties ever. Like when I look back at people's birthdays, I think Ken's are the most notable. Because I don't think I've thrown you a birthday party when you turned 21, 22, and 23. I don't know about 24, but those 3 years, the cops came to your birthday party every time.
Ken has bangers.
They were like the peak birthday years. Those were the best.
I feel like people, without even your consent or asking, they just set you up for this extreme birthday party.
And then the closer I get to 30, it's just been a slow decline. And 27, that was a low point.
With the cake smash by
That-
Ben,
That was.
Yeah, that was bad.
the candle to the eye.
And this year, not drinking.
That was
good
a
for you,
beautiful.
Ken.
That was a. So is that part of the reason why you're not drinking? You're like, I don't want to be drunk on my birthday and have my guard down in case Ben comes out with another cake again.
No, so it's kind of like a few other people, they did dry January. And I was like, I'm starting it late, but whatever. I'll just go into February. So then I get the full like 30 days, 1 month thing. And it's been nice. Just happens to be overlaps my birthday.
You seem like you've been in a better mood, and also I like visibly you look healthier too. I will say.
I'm very, very proud of you. Very proud of
my
you.
Apple Watch notified me this week that my resting heart rate has been lower for the last 30
I'm sure.
days.
I'm
and
sure.
Feel good.
So yesterday we went on the snowmobile ride. We logged 100 miles. Actually, it was 99.4 to be exact, because I hopped on the XCR, which had 0. So I was like, perfect. We'll know exactly how many. And I was really hoping to get over that lump. I don't know if we can claim that the 100 miles.
If it was a 100-mile ride.
But it was so fun because, it was Cormorant's pastime, snowmobiling and drinking.
And everybody was out.
And everyone was doing it. They had all the classics out, and the trails were groomed and everything. We were cruising around. It was honestly a lot of fun. I end up taking a pretty hard crash.
Dude.
Hard enough to break my visor, Evan. It broke my visor. I don't even know how fast I was going.
Pretty fast.
I still don't know how you even managed to do it.
You see,
First
that's
out, what sled were you on?
No, so my dad came with because he likes snowmobiling. So, and he hasn't ridden anything, like new like what we got. He has a 2010 Skidoo XRS 6 sled. Anyways, and I used to ride that all the time. So we were leaving one of the spots, and I was like, hey, you should ride this sled and try it out, So I hop on the XRS, and like it's significantly slower. It's a 600, but it's still a nice sled and nothing wrong with it. And I'm riding it, and I'm just following Ben across this lake, just a flat lake that we literally already went across. So like normally when you go across the lake, you're kind of like looking for ice ridges. You got to be careful, but we already had gone across it. And I was following Ben. He was here. I was like here. And I think what ultimately happened was I put my guard down because I was just thinking it's just a flat lake and maybe I wasn't holding on tight enough. Anyways, hit this bump, and the suspension on that XR, I don't want to blame the sled, but the sled was set up like super, super soft, and it hit this bump and just like out of nowhere and just went boom. And then I hit another one and it threw my hand off. I like was hanging off the sled, and I tried grabbing the brake. And when I grabbed the brake, I think I grabbed it too hard, and it like did one of those where it slid out the back end.
Yeah.
The sled legit went like rolled.
No way.
Fully
Rolled
wadded up.
three times, and I full on face planted at probably like, I don't know, pretty fast, because I mean we were cruising across the lake.
At least like 45.
I mean enough to break my visor,
helmet and blow the windshield apart.
blow the windshield apart.
Dude, I was very surprised. I was
telling
confused.
me, I was fucking surprised too. I'm going out there for a nice, easy, leisurely ride, and I'm thinking, like, I wasn't even. I was mad about two things. I was like, I can't believe I just did this, because obviously I'm conscious about like hitting my head. Mm-hmm. It's like the last thing I want to do. I end up like somehow hitting my head on just a nice cruising day, smashing my face, and then I rolled the sled, which I felt bad because it was like my dad's sled. So I'm like,
come back to handlebars, it's all blown apart.
Yeah,
the
but
plastics
honestly,
are blown off, the bars are blown down.
I was surprised that everything was actually fine, because I kept asking, I'm like, what's wrong with it? I will pay to get it fixed. The only thing that happened was one of the plastics was cracked. So realistically, not
Pretty
that
good.
bad. But I was just mad at those two things. But yeah, I don't know how it happened either. I was just as fucking. It happened so quick, and it just goes to show I shouldn't have let my guard down.
Yeah, how fast shit can go south.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I was, because you were right behind me, and I remember turning around, seeing you there, and then get to the other side and turn back, and everyone's like huddled around you, and I'm like, how could something have gone wrong within like 100 feet?
Yeah.
And I came back, and I went and looked. There's no bump. I don't know what you hit.
Yeah.
I don't know what happened.
It legit just went boom. Like I'm not trying to blame the sled. It's completely my fault. But I know for a fact if I was on the Polaris that I was riding, it wouldn't have happened. I don't know. Something just went like it was very strange.
It's just you and that snowmobile.
I know.
I'm
never
the
riding.
last time.
I'm
pretty
never
much
riding
the
that
last time you rode that thing. You
I've rode it a
Supermaned
couple times since, but yeah, I do not. I just came to the conclusion after that. I said I'm never riding that sled again.
Probably a good idea. Jeff is probably like,
Stoked.
okay, yeah,
Finally.
let's make sure that happens.
Yeah, I really wouldn't ride it that much ever, but yeah,
He's got a bad crash to ride ratio.
on
Dude.
that sled, yeah.
Definitely.
Man, just like rolling up and seeing like that there was a crash. I was like, of course, dude. Like
I
we
couldn't
just
believe
try and
it.
go for like a leisurely ride too, and something. That's usually how it goes.
And it always happens.
Yeah.
Being that we're here in the subject of discussion, we call it a leisurely ride, but that was one of the most aggressive snowmobile rides I have ever been on.
Well,
dude, following you were on, first of all, literally on a rocket ship, but it was like 85, 90 across every lake. We're hitting every approach, 55 miles an hour. It was like we were in a race. And granted, I was on some older iron, but like me, G-Reg, Jeff in the back, every time they were like, holy crap, we are really moving. And I just...
Oh, really?
Yeah. And which is not a problem of how fast you were driving, but I was like, we were riding like you guys are in the truck next to us filming. It was like that pace for the entire 100-mile ride.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was pretty aggressive. I mean, of course the jumps were bigger and stuff like that. But I mean, you start going 55, 60 across lakes, accidents are going to happen. And I'm very glad that
wasn't
you're
even
okay.
like doing anything like that crazy though. I think it just literally fucking the biggest fluke thing, but also I just wasn't really used to that sled, which also really is an excuse, but
Yeah.
it's strange.
Dude, it was such a great day though. In the middle of it, I was just like, it's really fun to go out and ride without a camera. Not saying that like filming it isn't fun, but just like not thinking about anything besides for just having a good time.
Mm-hmm.
Where like when we go out in snowmobile, a lot of times, like especially on like mountain trips, you're just constantly looking like, all right, got to set up here. Here's going to be like the shot. I'll whip out the camera. And you're just constantly kind of like making the video. But yesterday was just like strictly snowmobiling and just like pure enjoyment. And it felt like very refreshing. Like it made me like excited to go ride again.
Whether you have a puppy that's just a few weeks old or a senior who's seen multiple decades, any dog person like me knows the most valuable thing in the world is spending more time with your pet. The Farmer's Dog makes it easy to keep them healthy, which can give you more quality years with them. The Farmer's Dog makes and delivers fresh, healthy dog food. It's recommended by vets, nutritionally balanced, and made from human-grade ingredients in safe, clean kitchens. It's the best option for dogs at all stages of life. It's not kibble, it's not canned goo, it's just real food. Traditional dry and wet dog food options are extremely processed, and they can use much lower quality ingredients than they claim to, and they're also extremely difficult to portion accurately. The Farmer's Dog isn't just higher quality food, they also send the food pre-portioned specifically for your dog based on their unique nutritional needs. This makes it easy to help your dog reach and stay at their ideal weight, which is one of the biggest indicators of a long, healthy life. A healthy diet just isn't important for humans. My dog Daisy has been eating the Farmer's Dog for weeks now, and she loves her Farmer's Dog food. My favorite part is her breath doesn't stink so dang bad, even right after eating. It doesn't matter if your dog is young or old, it's always the right time to begin investing in their long-term health, helping you live more healthy, happy, and full years together. Get 50% off your first box at thefarmersdog.com/wideopen. All right, fellas, erectile dysfunction is a common medical issue that over 30 million men in the U.S. tackle every day. You may have had those nights where you get a little nervous and you just want a little extra help. The doctors at Rex MD will help you evaluate online, no office visit needed, and ship medication directly to your door before the big day. With Rex MD, they're here to help and provide you with real FDA-approved medications at the best price. It's hard to be too confident in the bedroom, and Rex MD can be a huge boost. I've definitely felt nervous before a night with a lady, and Rex MD could have helped my performance a lot if I had had it. Rex MD has made the whole process simple. There's no need to jump through a bunch of hoops to set up an embarrassing doctor's appointment to get your medication. With just a few clicks of a button, you can talk straight to a medical professional, create a personalized plan, and get the products discreetly shipped to your door within 2 days. And Rex MD doesn't just have ED medication. Rex MD also has sexual health, hair growth, pain relief, and sleep aid. Rex MD has helped over 350,000 guys gain confidence quickly and conveniently, and they're here to help you. So act now and take advantage of their deal by heading to rexmd.com/wideopen. Our exclusive deal will save up to 90% off, where you'll pay as little as $2 per dose on generic Viagra instead of $90 plus on Viagra. Starter packs of generic Viagra or Cialis are now available for our listeners to get started. That's rexmd.com/wideopen for up to 90% off. Your partner will thank you. Alrighty, guys, back to the podcast.
Got pulled over by the DNR.
Yeah.
Of course.
Yep,
It's gonna
of course.
happen.
But that is going to happen. And
It's just a gift
that
we
is
do.
going to happen. And what do you do? What do you do?
Somehow.
But no, it was a good time. It was just like a very Minnesota thing.
It was.
And like it reminded me one of like the great parts of living here.
Yeah.
And there were so many people out riding, and I was like, this just makes me so happy to see like the industry is just like flourishing, and like all the bars were popping and people were just like out having a good time.
It was our like local trail club. It was the Old Timers Run. That's what they call it. So everybody was out. They all had their old sleds out. We went to that hill, and it's the biggest hill in Cormorant, I would say, arguably.
And we didn't make it up.
We didn't make it up, dude.
Me and Ryan too.
I was a little bit disappointed in that because there was other people were like making it up just fine, and you two were going. I'm like, nice, they're gonna do it. Whatever, I'll take a Snapchat story. And you guys didn't make it to the top.
was
I'm like,
icy.
It was very icy.
Aren't these two like the big backcountry riders?
No,
Very icy.
No,
I was like, you guys are. I thought
a
this hill was
97
small for you.
triple.
But
yeah,
the
there were
worst
people
double
doing it
up.
on like freaking
80s,
85, like
70s.
82 with
It
like
wasn't a good look.
Three people. Three
Yeah.
people.
But the worst part is you come it's on like a pond, and the whole pond has probably like, I don't know, 150 people on
Everyone's
it, 200
watching.
people on it. Everybody's watching, sitting there, cracking cold ones, whatever. And if somebody doesn't make it up, the whole crowd goes, ooh.
Oh, what'd they do when we didn't make it? Did they go, ooh?
Did they ooh?
They just started yelling, pussies!
As the XLT is dragging us down the hill?
We made it up the second time, though. If we'd had studs, dude, we would have torn right up that thing.
Of course.
All right, so part of my Stop Ken and Evan from Vaping campaign, last week I hired a hypnotist to come to the shop and surprise them and try to hypnotize them to not like vaping anymore. And did not work. Did not work one bit.
Well, he did say that people with low IQs couldn't get hypnotized.
Yeah, that was one of the biggest things. But I got to say that might have been one of the funniest things I have seen in a while. you two were not having it, and Ryan was relaxing, and Gavin was full on hypnotized.
Yeah, Gavin was in it, and I still haven't gotten a truthful answer out of him because I asked him, Gav, were you hypnotized?
Were you just going with it?
Or
Yeah,
were
I
you
was
just
trying to
going
ask
with it?
him that
Because I was
too.
like, if you were just going with it just for the video, first off, you did a great job. But second off, were you actually hypnotized?
just kinda-
And he would be like, no. And I'm like, no, what? What are you saying now, Gav? Yeah, no, baby. I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm like, what? Were you hypnotized or not? I still have not gotten a solid answer out of him. So I'm gonna just assume that he was. Ryan, you had the craziest look in your eye, bro. You were like staring through me.
It was like an out of body experience. That's how I truly felt. I remember the camera being there, and I just was like,
I felt like
don't
you
know,
were
it was
just
weird.
relaxed. When I was
Yeah.
editing that segment, I was finding myself relaxing when he was like saying like the breathe in. Like most of it got cut, but he'd be like,
he just
you'll
hypnotized
feel-
himself.
Dude, I was thinking that. I was like, am I getting hypnotized editing this? But it was relaxing me because he was
Yeah.
like talking about like now it's moving up to your knees.
Oh, so nice.
your knees have had such a hard life, man. Pounding on this, rocking around on this concrete, and now it's moving up to your shoulders, and you're just like kind of laying
I don't
back.
think you can post a video of that.
What do you
What if everybody
Oh,
gets
everyone gets
hypnotized that
hypnotized?
watches the
Could
video?
you imagine?
Well, when hypnotists do it in front of a crowd, people in the crowd get hypnotized.
really?
Yeah, supposedly, dude.
Yeah.
I don't
Wow.
know.
Yeah.
Like, I do believe in it. It does seem like they all kind of have the same routine.
So I wonder, the guy who came out was a great dude, super nice and pretty normal. But do these people, even if say that Ken and Evan weren't technically hypnotized and they could still control everything they were doing, but they were listening to him. He's like, all right, you're going to fake have a baby now. And they're like, okay, I'm going to do it. Whether it's the pressure of the situation or just because they don't want to let him down or something like that. Is that still being hypnotized? Like
Maybe.
you're listening to
Kind of in
someone
a trance. You're just
only
doing it,
because they're telling you to. So I wonder if the percentage of people that actually get hypnotized to the people that just are following direction.
I don't know. I kind of believe in like the hypnotized thing. Maybe like I think it is kind of happening. But like Rob Dyrdek, he went to a hypnotist and got hypnotized for success.
Really?
At like a young age. Yeah.
What?
Yeah, and he talks about it all the time. And I was thinking about going and seeing that guy.
Hypnotized for success?
Yeah, you got hypnotized for success.
Like,
So what-
Like, what does that look like?
I don't know. He just like does some thing and just I think tries to change your mindset or like he basically
Interesting.
just programs you for success supposedly. And who knows if it works or not, but I mean you're definitely taking a good step in the right direction getting hypnotized for success. I'd do it if it was convenient. I think he's based out of LA.
I think when the hypnotist that was here, Freddie, he was talking about like everyone's been hypnotized, whether you know it or not. But let's say you drive home and driving at night, you pull into your driveway and you're like, holy crap.
I do that all the time.
How did I just get home?
I think I just blacked out for the last 20 minutes. I don't even remember driving, right? And he was like, well, that's you're technically in kind of a trance. You're hypnotized in a way, but mostly like your subconscious, it just takes over. So I wonder when you're saying that, when you get hypnotized for success, you're just telling your subconscious, like, you will be successful. And your subconscious, like your deep down soul is hypnotized, but you come out of it and you're just like, nice, I was hypnotized for success. I believe in it now.
Exactly.
I believe that I'm
Hey,
going to
as
be
long as
successful.
you got the attitude
and it
the
probably
motive,
didn't
yeah.
really change much besides for the fact of like somebody just told you and you were like, nice, I trust them. And now I'm good.
Dude, it almost, you could sum it down to, it didn't change a thing but your attitude and your outlook on something. Which after having Gavin here, holy shit, CJ and I have said it to each other, but we're like, we're going to try to be more like Gavin.
Yeah.
And not be more,
I don't wanna
because he is
copy him.
incredibly unique and you can't be like him. But just his good attitude and like the energy he brings to people and like,
Yeah.
he's a positive person to have around.
And he's nice to everyone, and he has like no ego. I don't know. I just liked a lot of his traits, and I think if everyone could adapt a little bit of his traits, whether it's being nice to people, having a positive attitude, liking three-wheelers, the world would be a better place.
I think so too.
When we were working on the three-wheelers and like everything was going wrong, I remember Gavin was sitting there and our mechanic buddy was like, well, here's the issues and this and that. And just like, basically just saying like how much of a pain in the ass it was going to be. And Gavin was like, yep, this is going to be fun. This is going to be fun. And I look up at him.
This is going to be a fun one.
What do you, what's going to be a fun one? He goes, making this work, baby. This is going to be a task. And I was like, damn. That kind of fired me up right there, Gav.
That's what I mean.
I need to hear that.
Good.
The only thing that, and I think it's funny, I'm not mad at him for this, but I told him explicitly multiple times because I was like, we spent 2 days rigging this thing up. We don't need to take it out and start ripping on it extremely hard right away and break it because I want to at least get a majority of the shots covered so that way we have a video before it breaks or whatever, but we can progressively ramp it up and rip it. And you told him in the video too, but I told him so many times. And
I told him a few times just on my own, like.
Yeah, he was acting like he was racing you, bro.
Well, I'm trying to keep up, so I'm going faster than he's going faster than that to lose me.
We were out there 10 minutes, and he legitly was going 70 mile an hour in the ditch, and we couldn't keep up in the pickup to film him. And he was going so fast that the wind was vibrating the camera, and I couldn't even, like, it was just, he was just out there just hitting bumps, tacoing the thing. I was so worried that, like, I was worried that the front ski was going to break, and it was going to pummel on him because he was going so fast.
Well,
I'm like, dude, you don't need to go this fast.
A mailbox or a signpost. Gavin could not remember how wide that thing was. Like he ran my ski over. He ran up on my track, like just pulling up to say hi. Like it was 4 feet wider than he thought. Dude? But just ripping past these mailboxes and signposts, electrical boxes, and thankfully didn't hit any.
I would compare Gavin to a dog that sees another dog, and then they like make each other get excited, and then pretty soon they're both just like doing zoomies around the entire house, and they're just riling each other up. They're jumping on the couches, even when they know they're not supposed to. And that's exactly what Evan and Gavin were doing. They would start going, and pretty soon Gavin would grab third.
Yeah. Goddamn, dude.
And then he'd look over, and the truck is going pretty fast, but we're just going fast to keep up with him.
And he's outrun the truck. I'm like, bro, I'm trying to film you. It was so
you don't
funny.
need to go so fast.
That dude, I love that guy.
Oh,
man, he's a good kid. Good kid.
Good kid. All right, Ken, throw up this video. Little backstory. It never hit the light of day, and sorry to bring it up on your birthday, Ken, but when we rented the excavator to build our track, we borrowed a ladder.
Oh, no.
Oh, my gosh.
And this ladder caused significant quarrels within the group, to say the least. We borrowed it from Ken's parents' shed because it's tall and it would work good to set up the time lapse. Well, Ken told us, don't break that ladder. It was my grandpa's.
Multiple times.
Well, to be clear, so I don't know who went over with me to get it in the first place. I went because I was told to go get a tall ladder. And was it you or was it Mike?
It could have been me, but for sake of the story, don't involve me.
I think it was Mike. So we sit here and we go to grab the normal ladder we always grab, and it's sitting there, and it's this aluminum, really big ladder that's very heavy. And then there's a wooden one that's just a little bit shorter than it sitting next to it. And we're thinking to ourselves, I'm like, well, they probably don't want this old, like the old wooden one probably it won't be needed to be used in case they somehow need this one, and it's going to be lighter. So I'm like, well, it seems like we should take the less nice one. So we take the less nice one, put it in the back of a truck, and we bring it over to the shop. Ken immediately walks outside. He's like, why'd you grab that ladder? I'm like, I don't know. It's just that I told me to grab a ladder. He's like, that's my great-grandpa's ladder, or your great-great-grandpa's. And I'm like, oh, shit. He goes, don't break that ladder. I'm like, oh, we'll just bring it back right now. Let's just go and bring it back right now. We'll swap it out. And he goes, no, it's fine. It's fine. like son was like, don't bring it back, but that's the wrong ladder. And I was like, what do you want me to do? He's like, it's fine. Just use it. Just don't break it.
Yeah, that was the thing. It was
don't break it. And I am like, okay. So we bring it out to the field. I don't know why anyone would break this ladder to begin with. And I tell everyone, I say, no one break this ladder. I don't tell them the whole story. I just figured, I'm not filming. I'm not doing anything. I say, nobody break this ladder. Don't break it. We're under strict instructions. Do not break this ladder. Okay. Day moves on. Ben ends up in the excavator.
When he said that, I was not there.
I was just saying, unfortunately, the excavator operator did not hear the story about to not break the ladder.
So Ken's saying, I told you to not break this ladder. Never told me.
Oh, wait, the ladder hasn't
so-
broken
so
yet.
Hold on.
ladder hasn't
I'm just
broken
clearing my name before it gets
Before it
dragged
gets
through the mud.
I think
I'm
I
just-
did
I'm
tell
just
you.
Clearing. No, you
on
never
camera,
told me. You
but
never
I think
told
you
me.
thought I was joking. I said, "Don't break the ladder," and I think you might have not realized the seriousness at hand.
Well,
I
as
said,
you're laughing.
So
I thought you knew because you were inching towards it with the
All right,
thing.
all right. Carry.
I
Just
go,
keep
"Don't break
on
the
with the
ladder."
story. So keep
I
on
threw
with
a
the story.
fit about this.
No, just hold on.
Well,
in the
anyways,
field.
hold on. We got to keep going to this.
We'll keep the
So
progression of the story.
Now Ben is in the excavator and he's inching close and he's like measuring the distance that it can swing, and as long as he doesn't touch one of the buttons that either pushes it out further or adjusts the bucket, it's not going to hit it. And he's got it within like a foot of this ladder and he's spinning around full speed and it's missing the ladder by a foot. And I'm like, I think everyone's sitting here watching and we're like, he's just messing with Ken, trying to get a reaction out of him.
It's so funny.
And,
'Cause
like,
everyone was just silent.
I just like
Everyone's
trusted
just
him.
silent.
I just kind of was like, he seems to know what he's doing. He hopped in here and just like has so much confidence in his operating ability. So like, who am I?
I've never
fucking
driven
saying-
an excavator
I thought you were
before
just
that.
trying to tick him off, and like he wasn't getting mad and giving you the response that you wanted to like stop. So then Ben like stops.
No. I didn't know it was Ken's ladder, so I wasn't trying to get any reaction out of him.
Well, basically,
I was I was literally just doing it. I was
Okay.
just doing it without a care.
because you thought it was an old shitty ladder. Basically,
Yeah. I thought it was just an old shitty ladder. I didn't know where it came from, but I was just up there just swinging around an excavator.
And then he stopped.
And to be fair, it was in the middle of a construction zone. Like it was in the middle of Rich going with a bulldozer, in between a bulldozer and the excavator and the skid steer. Like it was in the middle of the track being built. So I was like,
it's like a
clearly-
100-year-old ladder.
clearly this ladder doesn't.
This ladder
mean
was
much.
100 years old. He used to paint houses with it.
All right, okay. So
So then there's like the little thing that comes out at the top of the ladder for like
paint
a
tray.
paint bucket or a paint tray, whatever you want to call it, to sit there. And that's hanging out. And now Ben has like the bucket, and it's like he's like operating it, like flipping it up and down,
Inching
like
closer, closer
like
to the
within
ladder.
inches of it. And he's like going past it. It's just like going like, and he's just kind of teasing everyone.
And we're all
And we're all
watching
just like
in
silent, just
I think I recall Ryan just
I mean,
staring in disbelief.
I just well, we were under such like I thought everyone knew like like I didn't think I needed to tell you don't break Ken's 100-year-old family heirloom ladder. Which also it's very odd to have a ladder as a family heirloom.
Okay, it's just like
if I would
I
have
agree, I
known.
agree.
your parents have old shit. You just
No,
know.
I agree.
Don't fuck with it.
Yeah, exactly. It's never good to break the family stuff. Even if Bob had literally taken that ladder and thrown it away the very next day, it's Bob's job to break the ladder, not ours.
I agree. Well, that's why no one said anything because we're like, well, surely he's not going to hit the ladder. But I was like, man, he is getting so close. He is really good at operating this thing, and he has a lot of faith in it. Next thing I know, smack! Fucking smacks the ladder, crushes the paint tray, wood goes flying, and then Ken says, Ben! Grab my ladder!
And then I'm like,
All of us
I
are
thought,
like this. Holy
dude,
it wasn't even funny. All of us were just like, Jesus, dude.
Christ.
dude, as soon as
Too
Ken
far.
goes, that's my grandpa, that's my 100-year-old ladder. I go, real funny, real
He
funny.
thought he was
Real
trolling him.
funny. I thought Ken was
100-year-old
trolling me, and then I thought you guys were behind it because then Ryan storms off, and
I was upset.
CJ's standing there with the camera like down low, which the only time a camera's down low is when you're trying to hide it because it's so uncomfortable to hold it up.
I couldn't believe what
So
I was watching.
he's just like holding it real low, and I'm looking at CJ, just hoping that he's gonna go. It's a joke,
I told him, I was like, dude, it's
and
not
CJ just shaking his head, and I'm like, please tell me this is a joke. And Ken
was mad. Rightfully
Understandably,
so.
yeah.
rightfully so. And Ken gets in his Bronco and he rips off at like 50 through like
Fastest I've ever seen.
fastest
that
I've ever
Bronco
seen
go.
that Bronco go too. And I'm
Like
like,
in a quarter-mile time out there.
and it's just silent. And it's just me, CJ, and Evan, and I think Mike might have been there. And I'm like, please tell me you guys are fucking with me. I'm like, please, somebody tell me this is a joke on me. And then Ryan comes back. You just have no fucking boundaries, do you? And I'm like, all right, this isn't a joke, is it? I'm like, this is real. I fucked up.
So anyway, I was watching Facebook because I do that sometimes.
Hey, I want this to be clear. I just broke the paint bucket holder, like the wood on the paint bucket holder. The rest of the ladder is good.
His grandpa painted the Empire State Building, the mast on the top of it, and never broke the paint.
I know.
It was all the way down for you to come around with an excavator.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding. So anyway, I was watching Facebook, as I do sometimes, and I saw this video that's about to play, and I thought about just sending in our group chat and going, @Ben could never do this. But then I thought it'd be funnier to talk about it on the podcast. So roll 15 seconds of the clip.
Oh, my gosh. Oh, my gosh.
Well, the brims are too big. This guy's cheating. I think my friend Ben could do this with factory hats.
You want me to test on me?
Holy shit.
I just loved it. This is just some really odd Chinese game show Guinness World Records thing. Like fastest hats removed.
This is dumb.
These
I could
poor
find a
women are
handful of
scared,
drunken
dude.
laborers that could do this with a beer in their
That is
in
true.
their
Us
legs.
operators, it's like an extension of their body. But this also just shows, like, I swear to God, Chinese game shows are so dangerous. So dangerous. Do you guys remember the show that used to be on Spike? Where it wasn't even in English? They're like,
yes.
The most
and
extreme
there's just
elimination
people,
challenge.
People
MXT.
just getting wrecked. And it's all Japanese, and they'll just get fucked up, and then they go, and like,
oh my God, that show.
and I would watch
such a
it and
vital
just think
part
it
of
was,
my childhood.
I would watch it too. Spike TV, what happened to them?
And it's funny because the announcer goes, "Right you are, Ken," in that. I've been waiting for a meme to use that.
Kenny Blankenship.
Yeah, Kenny Blankenship. That's right.
Oh, that's amazing.
The fastest time to remove 6 caps using an excavator is 21 seconds. We got 6 guys.
Let's do 7.
You think
And
I
we'll have
redeem
Ben
myself?
operate it.
Dude, Uncle Rich, I think he could blow the doors off this record.
Probably.
Man, that's funny though, Ryan. I'm glad that you brought that story up.
Just
yeah.
dig it up from the archives.
Thank you for that.
Of buried beef.
There was so much weight to it. We couldn't even put in the video. It was just so bad. I mean, Jesus.
It was so stressful when it happened because usually when bad things happen, my go-to reaction is to laugh. It's not a good reaction. It might not be the best emotion to show, but it happens every time, and it was so hard. Ken's like peeling out in the Bronco. Ben's, I don't know. Everyone's fired up, and I'm just giggling. I feel so terrible.
Where's Mike?
He bailed, dude. Mike's so on the leash now. He quit having fun with us, and he also quit working with us.
Yeah. It's like a 50-50 shot if Mike's even going to show up anymore.
Because he's either sleeping in or he left.
Where's Mike? My co-host over here. We had to bring in Evan. Thankfully, Evan's
He's doing
here.
great.
Ev's doing great.
On the Modelos.
I
Gotta
feel like
keep these
Mike,
beers coming from him.
Mike off the leash in Canada is going to be unhinged. Like he's going to snap back to somewhere even worse than he was before.
You think so?
God, we could totally just ruin Micah's entire day when he listens to this podcast and tell the full detailed story unabridged without him here to interrupt us about that time when he hugged that one guy that was on like PCP in the bar.
I think we should. I think we've talked about that.
I think we have to.
You
we
showed in
talked
the
about
video,
that.
too.
Yeah.
They like hug each other and they like grab each other's shoulders and it
Shoulders,
looks like
that's
they're
right.
going to kiss.
Then Jake's dick came out.
Ev, I hate to go this direction.
Oh, no.
I hate to go this direction with the podcast, which it seems like they normally do. But the other day, I heard the beginning of a story of you getting your nuts cut open.
What?
Yeah, that happened.
And I said, tell me no more. Tell me no more. I got to wait till I hear from Evan on the podcast. So I've been waiting for this moment. What's the story?
Yeah. Okay, so funny enough, actually,
This is where the pods always go.
I was in 6th grade when that happened. That was a hell of a year.
Tough year.
I went deaf and blew my nuts apart.
Oh, shit. Okay.
Yes. So when we were kids, we had a bike jump. We were jumping off of like a flatbed skid steer trailer, over a little creek. So it was maybe 2 or 3 feet tall, and we were just jumping out 5 feet to get over this creek. It was kind of muddy where we were landing, and my buddy had my bike, so I was just going to run and jump with my feet over the creek up onto the trailer rather than off the trailer over the creek. So I just came running in full bore and jumped, and I wasn't going to make it, so I thought if I got 1 foot up on the trailer, I could pull myself up, and that foot that got on the trailer was just covered in mud, and it just slid. So I basically, just ran at a full sprint and just jumped, did the splits into the edge, like a 90-degree steel edge
Into
angle.
like the thin metal on the back of a flatbed trailer?
Yeah. I mean, just, 90-degree angle. It's like the edge of this table.
Okay.
So right away when it happened, I got just like a normal nut shot where you like kind of get an upset stomach. You kind of get a hot flash, whatever. And I just thought maybe I was okay, like walk it off or whatever. And my upset stomach wasn't going away after a few minutes. So I'm like, wow, I'm just going to go to the bathroom. I might need to take a poop. Maybe that'll make my stomach feel better. But
Even at 6 years old, this dude.
No, 6th grade. So I was like 13 or 12 or however old you are then. So but evaluate myself mainly. I just was going to go do it in private and go get in the bathroom. And a relevant part of the story, but I walk in the bathroom and the toilet just happens to be flooded to the brim. And it's like, not what I need, but it's just, that doesn't matter.
Did you
was in there an hour before.
No, that was somebody else. It wasn't me.
Okay.
Go in there, toilet's already blown
Shit,
out.
I knew this would come back to bite me in the ass.
So just try to ignore that. As soon as I start to pull my pants down or my underwear down, I notice there is blood.
It's a massive.
There's a bunch of blood.
Sorry.
No. So I'm like, oh my God. And like,
This is what I'm talking about. British Columbia.
All right. Okay. Sorry.
no. So I know there's blood everywhere. So like, basically just kind of grab my sack and start like starting to look down, and there's like a little scratch or a scuff on top, a little blood.
Scuff?
Yeah, it was just like a little abrasion. I don't really know what it was from, but I'm like, oh, this is manageable, right?
All right.
And then
I hate to cut you off.
yeah,
But
graphic.
I was just getting a little too detailed, knowing that you're like 16 or 13 years old.
For the sake of the story, Evan is now 18 years old.
Oh yeah, I was 20.
All right, carry on.
Anyways, but either way, I thought I found where the blood was coming from real quick. No big deal. Actually, like, was just gonna rock with it, and then something just didn't feel right, and I just like stuck my hand down further, and I just felt like an open wound, which turned out to be like 6 stitches, I believe. But yeah, and then I checked again, found out that it was bad. Had to like go tell my parents. So we're at kind of like a barbecue with a bunch of family friends and stuff, and I like pulled my dad aside. I was like, hey, look at this. I think it's bad. She's like, oh my God, get your mother. You're going to the hospital.
Dad, I blew my balls out.
But I think they're fine. I think everything works like they're supposed to now. Dude, honestly, almost the most pain, though, was I waited too long to get the stitches out. So there was a couple that were kind of grown in. And I could just... the doctor with the tweezers, he's pulling on that stitch. It's just stretching.
You got your legs open.
Before it finally, like, snaps out. Like, it's just...
Oh, because the sack
Yeah,
was
just stretching
going
my
with
yeah. It was like if you were just plucking a pube out, but then it's like ultra attached.
just stretched from here to here.
But it's
Just
just a
tried to
zip
get it.
tie.
You're fucking way out. So this might be too graphic. I don't know, but was like the slice bad enough where like a nut could have just fallen out?
See, and that's what's weird. I think there might be like layers
still.
of
Okay,
stuff.
so there was
And
still another
honestly,
layer.
I think it might have been a tear.
Oh.
Like one ball went both ways,
Oh.
potentially. I don't know. I don't honestly know. Because, I mean, could you get truly cut? It's not that sharp of an edge. It's like
you
through
just
my
straight up
jeans
pinched
and all
it
my
and
clothes.
blew it.
I kind of think it was a tear.
Yeah,
But
That doesn't make it sound any less painful, to be honest.
That was painful. Oh, I can't imagine if Ken would have suffered that trauma.
Dude, he's got
Doctor,
a big
we've never
target.
seen this type of blood loss.
I mean, he's way more probable for a nut shot. He's at way higher risk.
Can it be a good boxer? Because they hit him anywhere below
below the waist.
Yeah.
That's why they always hike their waistbands up over their belly buttons, right? You can't
I don't know.
punch
I
them
think
below
that's
the
just
waist.
a cover maybe if they're not in shape. I don't know. Jake Paul's fighting Tommy Fury now, I guess.
No, I don't think he is.
Oh, they backed out again?
Again?
I'm
Okay, I
pretty
was
sure he
gonna say,
backed out again.
Holy shit, that guy needs to just not ever even talk about it again.
Yeah, I'm
Tommy
I'm
does.
pretty sure. Maybe Ken
There's
double
no
check on that,
fucking
but
way.
no, I'm pretty sure he backed out again.
No, he's going. I haven't heard anything about it.
Tommy Fury refuses to attend Face Off.
Wow.
Maybe this is a dumb question,
Oh,
but
maybe-
who's
maybe
Tommy
maybe
Fury?
it is on.
Professional fighter,
So
boxer?
Tyson Fury is
UFC?
like the heavyweight champion of the world, one of the greatest heavyweights to fight.
Boxing?
Box, yes.
Boxing.
And his younger brother is Tommy Fury, who is kind of like this Instagram model. He was on like a love show.
Really?
Yeah. And he supposedly is a professional boxer, but it's tough because a lot of like he's kind of in the stage where he hasn't really fought anyone significant. So
Yes,
it's
to
like
prove himself.
he's
still.
like undefeated, but he just fought a bunch of.
But Tommy and Jake have been supposed to fight. What, like 3 times? This is the 3rd time they've been supposed to fight.
But he keeps backing out. They call him Tommy Fumbles.
Ken, just
Tommy fumbled.
He fumbles the bag.
just look up is Jake Paul.
it says
Canceled.
No fucking shit.
No, I think that was the last one.
That was just saying the press conference in
No,
Saudi
no,
Arabia.
no, look.
No, up top. Yeah,
on,
yeah.
on the about, Jake Paul versus Tommy Fury build is the truth is an
I
upcoming.
feel like Jake
match.
Paul would be posting all
The
this
bout
shit
is
on it.
scheduled to take place 26th of February in Saudi Arabia. Date canceled.
Damn, no one even knows if it's happening. We don't even know. I hope it is because I'd love to see that. I like watching Jake Paul fight.
Oh yeah, it is not. And the Google notices a mistake. I've moved out of my house. I'm living in a little apartment. I've gone back to the dog mindset.
I thought Tommy canceled because like his girlfriend is pregnant and she was supposed to have a baby
Well-
like any day.
Well, Ben, I'm looking at Tommy Fury's profile, and why the frick is Greta liking all his pictures?
Shut up.
Dead ass, dude.
What?
Why is Greta like this picture?
That's a good question. What do we got going on
Got
over
a
here?
Tommy Fury fan. She's like 2 now.
What?
Would you fight him?
I might have to. He might.
He might fumble the
Fumble
bag
it,
there.
though,
Well, I don't
you know?
know how much of a bag there'd be, but he might back out.
You might just do it for sport.
You guys
on that
scrap
one.
in the Roadhouse parking lot? The biggest pay-per-view event of the 2023.
Of the Cormorant Times.
Holy shit.
It's advertised in the paper and shit.
We'd have it in over at Cormorant Square, just like the wrestling, the fake wrestling.
Would you guys hop in the ring?
The box?
Yeah.
No.
It probably wouldn't be a good idea for you, but would you have?
Yeah, it's all fun and games, though, until you get punched right square in the nose.
Yeah, everyone's got a plan. Everyone's got a plan until they get punched in the face.
Dude, I can get hit in the side of the head, all over the place. It's fine. You get bopped square in the nose and it sucks. Your eyes start watering.
I'm not.
I don't want to do this anymore.
You're like a shark.
If it was like
Yeah.
a very significant amount of money, I feel like you'd have to, though. You know, like even I would have to.
I
don't know what that number would be, but-
for a bag, I would.
Well, yeah, obviously, it's like you
Why
gotta,
wouldn't you?
you have to.
Might try to fight.
Depends how hard they can hit. You know.
Did you guys see in the paper? Someone must have listened to only just a fraction of this podcast and heard the story of us talking about buying tools and more. But they didn't even
Which is like a
listen.
local.
Sorry, yeah,
large
Tools and More
warehouse.
is a large warehouse in a town over that's been changed hands a million times. But they didn't even listen far enough for us to say, no, we'd never buy that place. And it was in the paper. It said, Boys to buy tools and more. We were like a headline, front page news.
Yeah, I did see that, and I was not gonna turn down that rumor because I thought it was
Funny.
really funny.
We should start more rumors. What's
Start more
another good one we
rumors.
can start up? We are going
Running it.
to open. What's just something really?
Open
out
a
of-
bar.
It's always about drinking with you, Ken, isn't it? It's always about drinking.
Ken, there's no way that people would believe that.
We're going to open a horse breeding center. Evan actually, a lot of people don't know this. He's a studied equestrian.
I thought you were going a different direction with that. I thought you were going a different direction. So did everyone listening, you sick fucks.
Well, you didn't let me finish. No, just kidding. So Evan's actually an equine expert, and we're opening up a horse stable where we're going to breed championship race horses.
I am the size of a proper lawn jockey. I could ride those horses around the track.
I guarantee you could.
Can we get into horse
I
racing?
thought he was going somewhere else, dude.
Let's do this.
I guarantee you Evan could.
I'll drop 50 pounds. I'm a perfect horse
I
jockey.
guarantee
Have you
you
guys
Evan could.
Have you ridden a horse?
He'd be able to hang on
Have
just
you ridden a
fine.
horse?
Fuck no.
Really?
You've never ridden
Well,
a horse?
We should.
Why would I ride a horse?
That's a
Unless I got to actually race around the oval, what do you normally get to do? You'd probably go ride around a pasture.
You think he's going trail riding? No, he's
Yeah.
going racing when it
I'll
comes
go
to
racing.
horses.
Do you think is that like a thing that you could do for sport? Like
ride horses?
Well, I think you have to buy a horse and a barn and a farm. And
We need to get Evan on a really fast horse, and then like I don't know what the
Pretty dangerous.
Dude.
Well, yeah, Evan's good at holding on.
It is, dude.
I rode a donkey.
definitely.
Here's the Palmer.
If you get
yeah.
trampled by one of those, they also run hella fast.
Ain't faster than any 450.
That's for sure. I know, but I mean, like
Still.
the horse is, like, you get really fucked
It
up.
would be pretty funny though. Send Evan off like a bad cowboy in the West. You tie him up on the horse and you smack the horse's butt and send him off into the sunset.
Oh my gosh.
Wait.
Until you slap the horse in
How
the
do
butt,
they
it
do
kicks
that?
you.
So they would tie him up on the horse and then just slap its ass and let it run off. How would
the
they
sunset.
keep him on it? They just tie
I
him.
think
I
they'd put it maybe on like a wild Mustang or
I
something.
think you're like hog tied to the horse. So
I don't
can't
think
fall
you
off.
want to be there, do you?
As in like how do you get the horse back or what's your question?
Well, I'm wondering how they tie them to the horse.
I think you lose the horse. You maybe send him out on his
obviously,
own horse.
I understand.
Oh, yeah,
I
Is this
understand.
a punishment? Are you sending him out as a punishment, right?
Yeah, it's like you get sent
No,
out
I-
of town, and I'm wondering how they strap you to the horse because it's pretty hard to like
Hang on.
Can you
hang
imagine
on
getting
when you're
kicked out of
willingly trying
Cormorant?
to.
They tie you to a horse.
They probably
I'm
used
sure
to do
they-
that back in the day, dude.
I'm
Back
sure
when
they-
Richard ran this town, dude.
They do like the freaking horse tie where they tie your arms and your legs and lynch you. Yeah.
There were so few people here, they only had 4 horses. So they did it to one guy, and then they were like, oh, we're out of
I
horses.
can't afford to do that to everyone.
Yeah, maybe it's just my lack of ability to properly ride a horse, but I hate horse. Like
They're scary.
riding horses because I don't trust them, and I definitely don't trust myself
You're up
to know
really
what
high,
to
too.
do in a case of like a horse going rogue. Like I would be like,
Yeah, you're
I'm just
on that
along
bitch,
for
yeah.
the ride. I'm along for the ride. This horse is just like a little rebel piece of shit, and it's just like
They'll do that.
And maybe the
Yeah.
horse thought the same about you.
Maybe
They'll
it's
do
a
that.
nice horse.
That's the thing is maybe he did, and now
I'm
I'm riding this massive horse that does not care how many times I kick it side or whatever the hell you
I think
do.
both
don't-
those things make the horse go faster.
That's
You're
the
supposed
problem.
You're supposed to pull
That's
up and
the
say,
problem.
whoa. But yeah, no, that's why I said it is sketchy in its own way because you could have a fast ass horse and they don't want to listen and you're along for the ride unless you want to bail. And it's like bailing off that horse at
It's no
40 mile
different
an
than
hour.
like the 3-wheeler and half the other stuff I ride.
I
I'm
know,
just
but
along for the ride.
that's true.
Hold
That's
on.
true.
Yeah, but
That's
you're
true.
at
I'm not
least
saying you should, I'm
somewhat
just
in
saying.
control, I guess.
Am I though?
Well, we did that. We've done horse riding, but it is I thought it was fun. Wasn't really my thing,
Rodeo
though.
round 2. Ride some
Ryan's
bulls.
done the bull riding.
The bull was scary.
Dude,
I
Ryan,
was
I
scared.
still can't believe you rode a bull, bro. That was wild.
I'm very glad I got that out of the way.
It's a badass thing to do. Debatably one of the most badass things you can do.
It's just really
Next
a
to
bummer.
like UFC fight, box, ride a bull, I'd say they're all up there. If you ride a PBR bull,
Pabst Blue Ribbon.
that's fucking crazy.
It
No,
is a
like-
bummer too, because some people be like, "Well, let me see you run."
Yeah,
I
it is
ride
a tough
on
one.
weekends and sometimes, and I'm like, it fell over instantly. 'Cause
Yeah,
that
but
was-
you rode it down to the ground, bro.
Yeah,
tore that
Ryan
bitch
freaking
down,
He rode it
grabbed
down
that-
to the ground.
He shoved its face in the dirt and everything.
That was wild, bro. I was
Borderline
like,
animal
I was
abuse.
so anxious, like for you.
Yeah, it was awful. We showed up there, and then it was like, it's kind of one of those things you don't want to get iced. Like when you're about to hit a big jump or something like that, you're like, I don't want to get here, do it, leave. Or not leave, but be done with the thing you're nervous about. And we stood around for like 3 hours. And then the guy before me, the last person to go before me, who like does it for fun and sport, goes and held on a little too long and then went from the back of the bull to the head and then like knocked himself out, broke his collarbone. All that got like really messed up. And then everybody came on and was like, listen, you don't have to do this. And I was like, fuck.
You're trying to hype yourself up to do it, and they're like, man, you really don't
He's
got it.
like,
You're
you really
"Come on."
shouldn't do this.
Well,
That's the worst.
Yeah. Man, I don't fully understand the mentality of the guys that go out and just do it for fun on the weekends. I mean,
Some
talk
people
about
are
a
just-
hell of an adrenaline rush, but dude,
I
Grew
think
up
those-
that way though. You
those
grew up doing
dudes
it.
clearly are just built different.
I think it's confidence in yourself that you're not going to get hurt, that you and this animal can duel it out. And you're like, the way that I come off is going to be okay. Like, dude, our buddy Blaine rides bucking horses, which are arguably even more nasty, honestly. And he's just like, yeah, no, it's between you and the animal, you know,
Yeah, I guess you spend enough time like
on the seat.
perfecting your craft. You're probably a little bit more confident going into it, but just as like a first timer, especially watching it, dude, is so gnarly.
Yeah.
If you guys haven't seen it, you got to go and watch bull riding at least once, and you'll have a whole new respect for it. Because
It's cool.
as soon as you see how big they are, you're like, oh, this isn't a joke.
And like you said, Ev, I couldn't imagine riding like a real competition bull.
Yeah.
Like they basically just like grab some bull out of the field. And that's the one that I rode. It was tiny compared to those beasts.
All right. So what time do you guys leave for British Columbia?
Like fly out at 9 tomorrow morning.
9 a.m.
Do we have to get to the airport
Is
early?
Kenjamin bringing you?
I can either bring you or you can leave a truck there. Doesn't matter. I do need a pickup here this week.
What?
Big Ben's. Yeah, why?
we
What's
can
up?
Take mine. What?
Oh, just one.
Oh,
So
What do you
what's
plan?
Your
Parking up.
guys, what's your guys?
now my
plan?
guard's up.
You're gonna be there for 6 days.
Probably snowmobile.
6 days of snowmobiling.
I don't know.
Well,
What-
it is a bummer. We lose 2 days of travel,
So
basically. We're going to Revelstoke, British Columbia, which we went to, what was it already, like 4 years ago?
yeah, 2019.
2019.
Yeah, 4 years ago. Yeah, it's gonna be a really good time. I'm excited to go too. I wish the rest of the boys could have came. You were
know.
trying to come, but your passport didn't come.
Yeah, I wanted to come so bad, just because it just would have been fun. It sounds like a pretty good time. You guys are talking up the bars and all that.
It is. The snowmobiling in Revelstoke is like the best in the world.
Mm-hmm.
And
What makes it better?
really good snow, really good terrain, and you're not that high. You're riding at like 3,000, 4,000 feet, and usually you're riding at like 10,000 feet. So like you can actually
Can't breathe.
You can actually like
Thank
breathe.
God. This is the best news I've had.
Ev, you're gonna have to tone back on the vape, man, for at least the next. Let your lungs breathe a little bit.
No, I'm going to be good
gonna be
here,
working.
but when we were in Idaho, I thought I was going to die.
You considered quitting there?
Quitting my life, not the vape.
Going down with it.
Maybe
so,
that.
So just the snowmobiling's better, huh?
Yeah, and then like when you get up on the top of the mountain, you look around and there's just like massive mountains everywhere. And usually when you're out west, like you get to the top of the mountain and like you're kind of up top, and then you're kind of looking down on everything else. Out there, it's just like huge country everywhere.
Yeah.
It's just like a whole new world.
You guys gonna link up with Brett Turcott?
I think so.
Yeah, I think we're going to meet Brett up there and hopefully a couple other guys that are kind of local to the area and are just like ridiculously gnarly
That'd be
riders.
sweet.
We got to get Brett to do a backflip.
That would be so sick.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know what that consists of. If it's like snow conditions or we just have to take the time to like build a booter.
Probably a big
Mhm.
one.
But that'd be
Yeah.
so sick to see a dude huck a backcountry backflip. That'd be badass.
Ken, I mean, we're lucky enough we get to fly up there. We still have to drive like 6 hours. Ken, you got us first class, right?
First class was not available.
Back of the plane.
If it was, he wouldn't have put us.
Yes.
He definitely wouldn't put
Ben
me
sitting
in.
on the
looked at
toilet.
the budget.
Yeah, he's still thinking about that.
Even
thought
in,
509 paid
even
for
in
this shit.
economy
Ladder.
class, your tickets were still $1,200 a piece.
Really?
Jesus Christ. Maybe we should have sent Evan up in the truck.
Cripes.
Evan's like, fuck no.
Dude, doing a 24-hour drive alone.
I'm
And
going
a
to need
ram?
Slim. I'm going to need Slim for this one.
Ev, if we leave right now, we can probably pick them up at Calgary tomorrow.
What's up with these Canadian roads being so shitty too?
They are shitty. I don't know what they do up there. If it's like the Queen spends all the money back home in Europe, or something like that, but the roads are fucked. I don't even know how you guys drive up there.
It's not a
Queen own
priority,
Canada?
probably.
Yeah, the Queen owns everything, dude.
I think there's a prime minister
Hold up now.
because
The Queen is dead too.
It's Justin
Just
Trudeau.
FYI,
Well, there's another one that came back, right?
it's the King.
I
Oh,
don't
now
think-
it's a king?
Is
So
he the
ca-
prime minister or the king?
Wait, because
No,
Wait, they
The
own
Royals-
Canada though?
I don't know.
I
how it
thought
works.
Canada was independent.
no, that was the thing. We went through the whole war to, no taxation without representation.
Pretty
and
sure the
that's
king
what-
I
Queen
thought
don't do shit
I thought
anymore.
Canada
We
was
sound
French.
so dumb, being that we are we are on the northern half of the United States. I mean, most
A couple
northern.
hours away
We're a
from
couple
Canada.
hours away from
yeah,
Canada.
but
We
we're
don't
not
even know
Canadian.
the prime minister. 2 hours from.
I
you
know
don't
that
even
they have
the
a prime
president is.
minister,
Yeah.
Justin Trudeau.
That's exactly.
That's basically
prime
their
minister.
president.
That's their president. Yeah.
Yeah.
He makes all the decisions.
So
yeah, but hold up. What are you saying that England owns Canada?
I'm not really sure, but
What are you saying here?
But I do know when Ken and I booked the tickets, there was some weird thing that Evan wasn't able to get in or something. There was something back with his ID, so he was gonna have to finger blast the Queen. But now that she died, is he gonna have to jerk off the king?
Probably. No, it'd be the prince, wouldn't it?
Oh,
No, it's the King now.
oh, how old is he?
It doesn't matter
He'll do it.
how old
He'll do it.
the king is.
74.
74?
Charles?
You're always into some older ones.
That's pretty crazy thought. Like you don't even really have to be. You don't have to earn it over there. You can just be born into it, be a total idiot, and you're like, doesn't
It is
matter.
pretty messed up.
It
if you
is
think
pretty
about
fucked.
it.
I wouldn't
Really
like
messed
that.
up.
I'm glad we live where we do, honestly. Where
Yeah,
at
me
least
too.
it's like a democracy, and you have a chance or a choice.
Or the illusion of it?
Yeah,
Dude, I was just
somewhat.
gonna say,
Yeah.
do we though?
I know. Yeah,
Can
but
look
still,
up-
somewhat of it.
Yeah.
King and Queen seems so like
Medieval.
archaic. Like it's just so old. Like the fact that anyone still runs that in whatever country you're in, especially one that's like pretty developed. I mean, extremely developed. But also, I'm probably wrong. So don't crucify me because I said that.
The 2% of Europe listeners are like, what the fuck?
I don't know.
that was
They might be
not
thinking
a
the same thing.
European.
Oh, no, I wasn't trying to.
Oh, then what was that?
I don't know.
It's getting
Slade
late.
Ave.
You know, guys, it's been fun.
And it's been real.
I hope you get back in from Canada so we can run another one of these.
Yeah, maybe we should wait. We'll wait to drop this one until after we get back from Canada so we don't get stranded up there.
Like they don't let us back into the United States?
They might look you up and down. I mean, if I was the guy that was making the decision, I wouldn't. I suppose they'd probably want you out of their country. They'll probably push you back into
No,
the
it's
United
hard.
States.
Well, actually.
Do you remember last time?
Last time
actually?
we got into Canada or trying to get into Canada, it was kind of a process.
It's
Well-
because I think I know why. It's because I was driving and then Jake kept doing all the talking from the back. And I think they thought there was something really weird going on. And then they pulled us aside and we had to explain this whole reason why we were going up there. And it's like kind of a gray area being that we're filming. So we're like there for business.
Yeah,
but
they
we're
don't like
not.
that.
They don't like that. They want
Yeah.
you to pay the taxes on it. And I'm like, no, we're just going for fun. And they're like, they checked all of our luggage, all the stuff. It was really weird. Like we were drug smugglers or human traffickers.
Ev, you better be careful. Don't have your vape stash. They don't allow vapes in Canada. You know that, right?
Yeah,
You're gonna have to start smoking cigarettes like a man
Oh no.
for this trip.
No.
they
Why
pull,
Ken didn't go.
they pull us aside.
He's got a passport. He said, "Fuck that."
They pull us aside and they're like, "Oh, these stupid Americans! They must not have heard about the future. Robots are coming."
There will be no robots coming anywhere.
Let's wrap it up. All right, guys. Thank you for listening. Thank you for subscribing. And thank you for watching, viewing. And what else? What else do people do? I don't
Listening.
know. Fuck me, dude. I'm
See you guys
tired.
next time.
I'm tired.